From your standpoint, what do you think are the key challenges for telcos when they're on that digital transformation path? Maybe more so than other sort of verticals that you've worked with.
I think the important thing to be aware of when we talk about the telco sector is it used to be seen almost as a luxury item, but now it's in effect it's a utility. It's just as important as water or electric. People really can't live without broadband or mobiles. So it's critical that's maintained. It needs to be highly reliable, and the fault fix time needs to be extremely low. And more, I think fault management needs to be done proactively rather than waiting for something to happen and reacting to it. So, using AI for that proactive fault identification and management is key, and getting faults fixed very, very quickly is absolutely crucial because, as I say, it's a utility more than anything else now.
The challenges that telcos face in digital transformation are substantial. So we all know the classical argument about OTT and how much the amount of revenue is generated on a mobile app and how much of that goes to the telcos is like your 5 to 95% ratio. That is 5% goes to the telcos and 95% goes outside. So that's your fundamental challenge to say how much of that revenue can you scrape back. But then telcos have legacy systems. So you got your 2G, 3G, 4G, 5G, so on and so forth. And we know that they've had to keep certain systems alive. And the systems, when they were installed and implemented and deployed, were not at the time when digital transformation was probably just about on its rise. They're legacy systems, and therefore they need relatively legacy technology to maintain them. So how do you initiate digital transformation in this case? Then there's the difficulties that they've had with cloud and 5G. So when cloud and 5G came along, that was sold as a panacea, and it really didn't transpire like that. So what that's done is develop a greater degree of circumspection at what do we want from the technology. Cloud didn't deliver, 5G hasn't delivered as much as they expected. So for a start, there's already a focus on exactly what it's going to deliver. Add to that the whole subject of the nature of AI as a beast, because it's sitting as a technology into the cognitive side of human beings. There's that mindset change to actually say, well, AI is really like a human assistant, and governance of AI is really about governance of human beings, albeit very simplistic human beings, but it's human beings. And so there's a necessity for the transformation of that mindset, together with the fact that AI is an expensive activity. And how do you relate AI to the type of ROI I want to generate? What will be that ROI? When will I have that ROI? The generation of AI models and the types of problems that they give rise to are unique. So dependency on data, the data will define the response of the AI, will give a skew in that direction, and that can have negative implications or even potentially legal implications. And I think that the spectrum of problems are far greater in the telco industry than potentially any other industry. As a technology, they're like the most critical technology for human beings, if you think about it. Our mobile phone is really our constant partner. It's our gateway to the world, our family, everything. And we have to deal with human beings with technology, with human beings who are now used to instantaneous responses, slick and smooth user journeys, and the level of competition that exists is also very high. So I think that the challenges that telcos face are very, very high. If I was to suggest the one step that then they can take is to not follow the, for want of a better term, the hype surrounding AI. We all know the discussion about the hype cycle. It's important to know that hype cycle. It's important to know where AI and Gen AI sits on that hype cycle. And it's important to learn the successes of AI. Whilst this may be an obvious point, but the successes of AI will actually help you make that mindset transformation about what AI can do for us. And very, very important to achieve that mindset transformation. It really is. In my consultations with my clients, the bulk of the discussion isn't about the technology. It's really about the way they see it, because I've got people sitting who are fantastic at Excel, fantastic at PowerPoint, fantastic with the Python and whatever. But it's not about the technology. It's the mindset about the way you use it. And that's the greatest transformation that the telco industry needs to do with AI and Gen AI.